He's a true salesman. We didn't hire Chuck. Chuck hired himself.
Yeah. What I'm saying is roofing is not fun.
You've never roofed.
Oh, my God.
You're too big and stupid to get up on there.
That's true. That's true.
You would sweat so much.
Oh, dude.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad or stupid, but probably both.
And fat.
Oh, dude. Fat, sad, and stupid. That does actually describe me perfectly.
Actually describes our entire team.
We always joke around about that because we are, what is it we
By
say?
far,
We're
pound
for pound, the heaviest roofing team in Northwest Indiana.
Hey, oh, hey, oh. You are now tuned in to the best roofing podcast in the world. The Roof Trollz. Here we go, here we go, here we go, yeah.
So everyone knows, because a lot of our friends and family still ask, what do you guys even do? Well, this is it.
And I'm glad that you're bringing that up right now because you're only, an hour and a half late. That's it.
I had to go check a mailbox. I started working on files with Cortez.
All right, well, let's do this now. You had to go check a mailbox. All right. Where was that mailbox at?
In Hebron.
30
minutes away from my house.
30 minutes away. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you an hour.
Perfect.
I'm going to give you, from your house to there, you got 1 hour. And what time did you leave your house?
Like 10.
All right, why not say? Now we got a bigger problem here. That's not.
Hey.
Hey, what do you mean? Hey, he said hey as if that's okay.
You only came early so you could make more videos because you want to be a multimedia company.
A multimedia company. I don't think so. Nice Cubs cup. You'll never play for them. So I get what you're saying. I want to be. Well, you're trying to be a baseball coach now. You literally said, you were just talking the other day and said you were going to become a professional baseball coach. What you said.
So this is you lying. Again.
In hopes
that people are going to believe it.
There's no hopes of us being a media marketing group.
Well,
There's zero chance of that.
That's your dream. You're slowly going to try to get more equipment, hire more videographer people, hire more editing people, so that at the end of the day it turns into, well, we roof on the side. Really, what we do is we make movies.
We make indie films, and we just happen to roof as well. In a perfect world, I mean, there's some truth to that. I don't think I've ever tried to bring the two of them together once in my entire life, nor have I ever made anything that would resemble a film.
You're slowly getting there.
Yeah, it's probably in my blood. But no.
You want to talk about your famous uncle? I get it. I'm trying so hard to see.
I'm not.
I can see you with you're itching right now.
I'm not into
Uncle Keith. I love you.
I am not into that whole thing right now at this stage of my life. Maybe eventually. I think it would. I've always said that it would be cool to like shoot a movie or have some part in a movie. I think both of us would like to do that eventually.
To do that. I think everyone thinks it's cool. I would do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome, and just to have that under your name. So, well, that backfired on you quickly. Then, so now you wish that we had that too. So I got you on film right now, and everybody heard it that you also thought that would be cool. You just said that.
No, the topic was you wanted to be your Uncle
What time
Keith.
were we supposed to be here today? Is what the topic
I don't know.
is. You don't even say. So you left your house at 10. So then now you've turned that into just a normal thing. So you think it's okay to wake up at 9 or whenever you feel like waking up. And then you just leave at 10.
No, I woke up at 6.
So you woke up at 6 and you still didn't manage to get here till noon.
Some of us don't sleep in a basement away from our family, all right?
That's true.
However...
Some of us sleep in a dry house. Your family literally was getting leaked on yesterday. You care to share that?
We already talked about it on our technically last podcast.
Yeah.
And that's fixed.
I don't know about being
Hang on,
fixed.
Our director or producer, whatever they're called in podcast world, is talking to us. What was that?
Who are you? Who are you sitting with the brown shirts? You guys need to talk.
We are talking. If they don't know who we are now and they're still watching this, it's a them problem.
So we're back, guys. Roman's Roofing, Roofing Trollz. We're on it, doing another show, having a little bit of fun here. I got Angelo. Don't really have any special title for him. He just
just a guy.
Just kind of does what he wants. So we have him, guy I'm friends with. So like, kind of just hang out around here, right? Like, I mean,
that's all anyone here does.
That's all anyone thinks anyone here does.
Just like the railroad, a bunch of people putting their feet up, taking pictures.
Well, when you wanna say that you built the railroad, and there's clear proof that there's clear proof that the Chinese people built the railroads. There's proof of that. We can see that in history books over the course of years. So, like, in a sense, in my opinion, the tracks have kind of already been laid. So, like, what were you guys doing? Replacing nails? Like, what is it exactly that you
Just
did?
shows how little you know about the railroad.
Maybe you guys built some new tracks for DJ and Billy to flip trains over with, but that's our friends that are responsible for a train derailing. Literally responsible for it.
Who are you talking to? Talking to me, or are you talking to the world?
To anybody who's listening right now, they need to understand. They need to understand that Billy and DJ are responsible for a lot of damage.
I hope that anyone that works with them, if they do find this and listen to it, they're going to agree. And I just hope none of their bosses, though, find out that they're really the ones that are causing these derailments.
Oh, man, so many.
The
chemical spill in Ohio? Oh, yeah.
I was DJing Billy.
100% had to have been. 100% had to have been. They're what's called in the industry as foamers. So it's got to be something.
People don't want to know what a foamer is either.
No. Well, we're kind of, what would it be in our industry? What would that even be called? The foamers, for people who don't know, we were explaining this too because we had no idea. But it's someone who's obsessed with trains, which actually is everything that DJ and Billy were growing up. Remember they used to wear the conductor outfits?
All the time.
Always bragging about trains. DJ used to carry a train around with him. Even in high school, had it in his backpack.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say you had to be like 14, 15.
Wore shirts with trains on them.
Well, Billy didn't care about anything. He found the railroad. Well, I should say the railroad found him.
Yeah. That's kind of how our roofing thing is. So, like, I guess we'd be the equivalent in our industry of a foamer in a train aspect, because, like, we're obsessed with roofs.
Yeah.
I've totaled a car. True story here. I totaled a car when I first started in this industry. When I got promoted to sales. I started as a canvasser. I got promoted to sales, and I was so addicted to this that I would drive around and I'd do one of those, at the roofs. It's so funny because, like, when I'm with my fiance now, because she's in the industry too, different company. But when we're together, it's all just, we're still looking at roofs and stuff. So I'm doing that. And, dude, I literally drive right into a telephone pole with a Chrysler Pacifica.
I remember that.
Totaled it. Just replaced the tires on it and everything. I totaled it. The only car I had.
You deserved it.
100% I deserved it. 100%. And worst part is I totaled it in front of like a brand new architectural roof with like brick siding. Like, that's just irony. Like,
wasn't it down the road from your old house? That's sad, dude.
Yeah. Sad or stupid, but probably both.
And fat.
Oh, dude. Fat, sad, and stupid. That does actually describe me perfectly.
Actually describes our entire team.
And then we see, we always joke around about that because we are, what is it we say?
Far,
pound for pound, the heaviest roofing team in Northwest Indiana. That's a fact. Look it up.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
If people do see any of our videos or any of that with everyone, like, it's not me like talking crap. Like, we just got some big boys.
Yeah, it's big time here. Big weight, big time. You guys ever seen the movie Heavyweights? The Disney movie Heavyweights?
No.
It's kind of how this is. Well, that's your Papa Perkins, and then, I'm Gerald Gardner, and then we had just goes downhill after that,
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Heavyweights?
Maybe a long time ago.
If I would have known this prior to you being on here, you probably wouldn't be on here right now. The fact that you haven't seen Heavyweights is just, it says more about you than it does about the fact that you haven't seen the movie.
I'm busy.
No one's... Angelo, that movie came out in like 1995.
I've been busy since 96.
Yeah. Jesus, dude. Do a lot of things. Too busy to show up on time for a podcast. Just try.
Serious. You're just so serious about this.
I try not to be. I really do. I try with you a lot. I try really hard with you, actually. One would say that I've given you too much of myself. Our relationship is just...
What?
I don't know what it is anymore either. Like, because you're like my business partner, and I always thought I wanted that. I thought I did. Probably not a good idea. Probably wasn't a good idea.
If anyone understands,
you don't really do much. You kind of just hang out here.
This is the conversation you want to have. You pretend to write scripts and you use ChatGPT.
So ChatGPT,
because you're in marketing. For your multimedia company.
ChatGPT is not used in my scripts. And I think people who watch whatever we put out will understand it's not used in it. Now, some of the scripts use ChatGPT 100% because we want to sound more educated. Like, again, fat and dumb. So, like, you can't get mad at me for that. If you acknowledge that I'm fat and dumb, like, I have to, it makes sense somewhat. Now, I'm not going to allow you to take away the creativity, because what we're doing in marketing, in my opinion, is better than what a lot of people are doing out there. And we're bringing the fun back into this. And that's kind of like what we're talking about today anyway. Is
We're just making it fun. Because nobody else makes it fun.
But isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
People need to see outside of like just sales aspect of it because it's so boring. Sales isn't boring, but roofing's boring.
I don't think roofing, construction isn't boring.
You never said to yourself that you just wanted to be a roofer or you wanted to look at roofing. You never, prior to working in this industry, did you ever look at anything storm restoration related at all?
No, no one does.
Then it's not fun.
It doesn't make it not fun. I enjoy my job.
I didn't say you didn't enjoy your job, and there's a lot of different
it's fun.
Aspects. So do I. That's what I'm trying to do in the content is create that same image for people to see how fun it is. But what I'm saying is roofing is not fun.
You've never roofed.
Oh, my God.
You're too big and stupid to get up on there.
That's true. That's true.
You would sweat so much.
Oh, dude. That's the hardest part of me getting on a roof. It's like when we're doing the
inspections.
Yeah, and I'm dripping with sweat right on the shingles, and it's starting to look like hail hits, and then I'm like circling. I'm like struggling to find it, and then I'm getting frustrated. And then when you're overweight and you're frustrated, you get hot inside, and then I'm hot inside and hot outside, and like, dude, I'm like, I look like I'm in a swimming pool. Like, I look like Matt Pavey on the doors.
I love that you've embraced just being fat and stupid. It's like how I used whenever.
Well, there's no way around it with you. It's not that I've embraced it.
No. Hang on. Let me finish. It's when you say like when you guys would make fun of me for being skinny or something, or again,
which we don't do,
or the weird backhanded compliments about being handsome but still being a piece of shit. Like it's weird, but I had to embrace that. You know what I mean? Like I had to just internalize and take it, and then make fun of myself with you. You're finally at that point, and you're impressing me with that.
And that's something I struggle with every day, my weight, and I can't, I'm really depressed over it. And he's just over here, having fun with that. I think we've been down this road before. But anyway, the content that we're putting out.
The railroad?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
All right. So anyway, this is not where this is going. But the Halloween content that we put out, tell me how awesome that is, though. But for real, like, how awesome is that?
It is cool. It's fun. I mean, again, I get one and have fun. It's just, a guy in a mask. It's like, are you trying to scare people now? No, we're not going to make a movie.
No matter how hard you try.
Yeah, about bringing characters. But look, we have an Art the Clown, too.
We don't have to make a movie. But
a small film? Like a small short? A short.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. I don't know what the future holds. I just had this conversation with Revens from Spark Raw. That's who does all of our editing and stuff, and they do our podcast. Shout out to Revens and Will from Spark Raw. But we just had a conversation about that, dude. We have to push the envelope eventually. And I'm not saying be controversial because there's a thin line between that and what we need to do. But we got to have some fun with this, man. I don't want to come at anybody or anything like that. I want to like do weird, crazy things. Some things I don't want to talk about on air because I want to be the first one to do them, but I want to do some wild stuff, man. And I think that if we took the message that we have for people and we delivered it at an extreme level, it would just be more impactful for us. I don't know. We care about people more than we should sometimes, and we definitely care about the customer more than we should. But like, why aren't we showcasing that and having a good time?
Well, that I think is the point of this, and that's why I think when people, if they do start like subscribing, if that's the thing, if that's a platform we're on or whatever, and listen, is to like talk about like our week, what it looked like being a younger roofing company owner, what we go through, what we see, the fun that we had. Like today's Thursday, we should be at Sportsman's eating lunch. Like that, there's things like that people do and have fun.
I did complain a lot earlier.
Well, we're gonna get wings
already today. It's a matter. I know we're getting wings, but like, we had a wing guy, and this wing guy is my little brother. He had one objective on his mission, and that was to obtain wings and bring them here to us. And we assigned that to him, and no one told me that those plans were altered. No one ever came to me and said, "Hey, man."
Well, that goes back to like the first thing we talked about like. People
I'm
like
paying
me,
for these wings, by the way, for anybody listening or watching.
People like me,
I am going to pay for them.
I have to actually make sure the company runs and things get done.
But you need fuel to do that.
Where you care about taking one of our highest performers.
He's always going to spin this.
Our highest performer.
He's fourth.
And have him go pick up wings for us. We can. I like to say we could pivot.
So for someone who shows up at 12 in the afternoon, I don't expect you to know the numbers fully, but my brother's actually 4th in sales. He's on his way up. His trajectory is going up, but
I
he's
was trying to
4th.
give him a shout out, our wing guy.
I get it. Well,
Hype him up.
he would have been a great wingman, but
Hype
we
him
kind
up.
of pulled him out of that. But we need him to go and get them. I am hungry. It needs to happen. Like all of us, everybody was complaining about it too. You're the only one that was okay with wings, which makes me think that you stayed home and probably had like a breakfast or something.
And 8 wings. I didn't actually.
Maybe not wings, but I bet Lauren like made some biscuits and gravy, probably some fresh fruit.
Fresh
Well, you know what, you guys, maybe it's like fresh fruit and like oatmeal. What do you guys eat? Like a wheat bagel?
Mm-hmm.
Like a half a wheat
And eggs.
bagel?
Just egg whites
Yeah, you take the yolk
with
out.
like goat cheese.
And you throw it away instead of giving it to your dog. You throw away the yolk too, because you hate Richard.
I wouldn't say hate. I just
You don't like your dog.
I expect a lot more from them, just like my kids.
You,
I know how good my dog and kids are once they're around other dogs
Here
and
comes the
kids.
baseball coach in him. I just expect it. You know, Jackson doesn't make contact with the pitch, then
We're gonna have a conversation.
yeah, we have to have a talk on the way home.
Why are you crying?
Yeah, you're just in there, why? Yeah, what? I thought baseball was fun. You're just drinking your beer, driving home. Like baseball is supposed to be fun. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
doing everything I wish I had a father was doing with me.
Oh my god,
Driving without a seatbelt, pounding back some Budweisers, maybe an old style, and just heads up.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Some can dream.
Yeah, they can. So for a content level though, for us, so what we've been able to do in the short time here is actually kind of impressive. Outside of the funny videos, and I get, even though there is a market for both of those two, outside of the funny videos, some of the educational stuff that we're putting out here.
I think that's what is the misconception. Because I think some people are like, "What are they doing?" Because we do have, we have like photo days, we have video days, but it's because we want to. It's not about necessarily getting leads. It's not about, obviously, you always hope there's a ROI on that. We're spending money, but it's more, again, the education part, because that's what we're lacking. There's no one out there talking about what this industry looks like, what we do day in and day out, what just a contractor can do for you if they're a roofing contractor, siding contractor, or just a contractor in general, and then using a public adjuster, we've already talked about that some, but just the ins and outs of this industry, because I don't think, again, people just don't get it.
Yeah, it's the education level.
So that's cool.
Is not where it needs to be at on both sides. So for the sales reps, they struggle with an education, maintaining their client base, following up with their clients, relaying the proper information, setting the proper expectations for the whole process. And then you have the homeowners who have no idea that they could take out claims, what type of materials on their homes, what's inside of these policies that's preventing them from getting full approvals, or what's inside these policies that's helping them out with getting roof replacements that they don't even know about. Like, it's a real thing that a claim being filed with representation, I'm not even saying PA, I'm just saying representation in general. Claim filed with that is upwards of 30% higher than a homeowner taking a claim out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to say for that. I mean, people need help. It's not a matter of if you want it or not.
Well, it's not necessarily the help part that I look at it as. It's just the information. Like, again, even with roofing. So, like, one of my biggest pet peeves is when I talk to a homeowner and they talk about having another contractor, and they're like, you need a roof. Like, yep, you needed it yesterday. You can't tell somebody, unless they have a current leak, like how much age they're going to have left. Like, it might look like shit. That part's true. But, like, unless it's leaking, it's still technically doing its job. It's all preventative. I always just feel scummy when homeowners tell me that. Well, this guy said it could start leaking tomorrow. It could maybe not leak for 5 more years. But if you've had a roof on your house for 15 to 18 years already, it's probably time to start looking into getting it replaced. Because it's preventative. Nothing on your house is waterproof.
Look at the lifespan of the shingle.
20, well, that's also,
25-year-old roof, and you got a 30-year shingle up there. Well, hello.
Exactly.
And then counter in the Midwest weather where it's 90 degrees one day, 60 degrees and raining the other day, and then by Monday of the following week we're in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Like that's what we got going on here. And throwing a couple tornadoes and a few hailstorms in there too. Like that's what these people are dealing with. 90-mile-an-hour winds at least 7-8 times a year.
But they also, it's again going back to people actually being knowledgeable, and it's not just the weather, but my sale to everybody homeowner I went to is I would look at their ventilation. How is it vented? That causes more roofs to fail than the weather. A roofer, if that's just their sole purpose is to sell you a roof, they're not going to tell you that. If anything, it's going to help your roof deteriorate even faster. The next one.
And that was my message when we started doing this thing. So I just want to get get the information out there so people understand it, so they're not foreign anymore about it. Like not understanding the insurance claim. And everybody's like, well, don't teach them how to get the roof bought and blah, blah, blah. Well, why not? Why not? If they understood what we do, people buy convenience. I'm going to keep saying that every time we have a conversation about it. That's what people care about. So if you could tell them that, even if they knew the entire process and you told them you could do it for them for just a deduct and hire the crew and do like we can do all the build and everything, like we could do it all for you, like that's
Most
a
people
no-brainer. People are going to do that.
Yeah.
So like, what is everybody so worried about? I wish that more people took the initiative to do that, dude. It would make our job easier.
It's just people's that lack of knowledge. You know, you don't know what you don't know.
It's crazy. We worked at another company prior to this one. Well, we had a situation, and it's like right on topic with this, that I dealt with an area director. And this area director, I remember one time we were on a roof, and I don't know if you were with me on this one or not. I think you guys were in the neighborhood, but I was on a roof, and I did a quick video. I was like looking at all the wind damage shingles, all the creased shingles and stuff, and just the damage that was on this homeowner's house. And I was explaining to people, you know, like probably going to have to run an ITEL because there's a little bit of damage on this side. If it comes back, I know the shingle's probably not made anymore. This is how I know that. This is the wind damage I'm looking at, just in case we have to do that. This is what we'll have to do. We'll break it all down. So I make this video, and we go about our day. And about 4 hours later, I get a phone call from the CEO of the company, actually. And he says, hey, man, we want to jump on a call. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, whatever. I was a team lead sales manager there. And I jumped on a phone call with these guys. And they proceed to tell me that, hey, man, we really like everything you're doing, which they didn't. They didn't let me do anything. But we really like everything you're doing over there. But what we're going to do is we want you to delete that video that you made, that you put on your Instagram. If we didn't know how to do an ITEL pool, now we do know how to do it. And we don't want everybody else, you know, kind of like watching what we're doing and doing our thing. I was stunned, dude. I didn't know what to say to him. So like, I'm always been a guy to just head on with a problem. That's why most people have a problem, you know, coming to me with problems, because I want to address everything right away and just hit you right on the head with it. So I'm like, I went back at him and I'm like, well, hold on a second now. So you're telling me that you didn't know how to pull an ITEL or what an ITEL report was. And then after watching my video that I put out, you do understand that and you want to do that now. Well, yeah. And you want me to delete that? That's the thought process with a lot of people out there managing and owning companies right now. Can you even believe that?
Well, that's anyone in like a management role. That's like just an old way of thinking. It's the generations before us. They don't, you know, and I can't say all of them, but they don't want people to learn.
Majority.
They don't want people to learn underneath them. They don't want people, new hires that come in, that's a thing.
Job security.
Yeah, they think it's job security, when in turn it would just help them get their job done better. But it's
a lot of people. They're probably the same people that get upset when we sell a level 4 impact shingle, or we sell a malarkey shingle to somebody like that. They're the SPS modified. They probably get upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, dude, you're going to do all those roofs. You're not going to have anything left to do. Oh, good. The people will care about the fact that I cared about them to put quality on their homes.
And there's a lot of roofs.
Yes, there's so many houses. And honestly, how long do they last? Even the best ones, how long do they really last? So you might get double the time out of those ones, so we'll have to come back to those eventually. But there's a lot of them, and we saw it. 3.5-inch hail this year in Michigan City, Indiana. We saw it, and it torched roofs that we did 8 months prior.
A few years ago,
even
sure.
N years. We had a customer that had a 9-month-old roof. 9 months, and we had to fully replace it because 3.5-inch hail doesn't care how old the roof is. Go throw a level 4 up there. That's fine. 3.5 is going to damage it. That's just the reality of the situation. So nothing's being protected, but there are ways to prevent it. And the 3.5 is an anomaly.
Yeah, we don't get hail that big.
I've never seen it. And the only time I've ever seen that in my life was a couple of years ago. I would drive down to a little
Cloverdale.
Yeah, a little podunk town, Cloverdale, Indiana. It was literally a trailer park. But they had like a big giant Death Star 3.5-inch hail, dense.
Some of it was 4-inch.
Yeah, it might have been.
It was the bigger storm.
It was powerful. They had hail going through skylights.
Yeah, it was crazy. But the bigger storm was like right outside Indy. That's a town kind of close to it, but just this one area was just crushed. But we're gonna always have hail. We're always gonna have crazy windstorms. It's the nature of where we live.
What are we gonna do over the wintertime as far as marketing and content? Like, do we have What is the game plan here? Do we just keep it going?
The education stuff, we should keep going. I don't think we need to pivot unless we change something drastically in the company. I mean, we have more events. I think that'll be fun to try to document and get to the team that edits everything. Because, we go to Utah in January. We'll have like our Christmas party, just little things like that. I think we can get it edited, put out there. And I know most people might not watch it because they're not into roofing and they don't do the things we do. But for the people that do, it's a growing industry. Even though it's a very niche-y thing, and a lot of people follow other people.
When are we going to shoot the movie? What? I thought we came up to the discussion. We said short film.
I literally thought we were having like a good conversation.
You said short film. It's just I've just been thinking the whole time, like, dude, we could probably do something really cool.
We should make shorts. We should do
like ones to wear.
So you want to get into like free trade and how we actually would have to get cotton mills and all that back here. I didn't want to talk politics today, Elijah. No, I think we should do shorts. I think we should do like 7-minute videos about us, like about the company, about what we do, make it funny and fun. And it could be like a weekly or a monthly thing.
I want to do stuff like that too. But then I want to like throw a dragon in there, unicorns, like zombies, trolls.
Yeah, we can. It could be a 7-minute thing. It could be about.
Well, we can't be selfish with it either. Just got to get everybody roofing in this. We got to get like
like
some of the
Office,
companies around here.
But with a lot more sci-fi.
A lot more sci-fi. A lot more. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to take this.
Well, they're freaking out. They're like, how are we going to get sci-fi? You're going to figure it out. Is what
yeah. The marketing team's like, wait, hold on a second. What are you guys talking about? You know what we're talking about.
Like, we just learned to put music in the videos.
Yeah. You guys will slow down. You guys are like 8 podcasts in. Yeah, but now we want to write books and make movies. Like, let's make.
Well, we've recorded potentially 8. We're probably going to delete some of them.
Maybe 4 will come out. Well, you will see the first one.
Well, it's because we're trying to be rich and just jump all the steps of like you and me doing it, editing it, or you and Mike just doing it, editing it.
You can't get rich
and really learning the
process.
We're
not Joe Rogan, and we're not Bert Kreischer, and then we're not getting rich off of a podcast. Like, that's just not going to happen.
No, I meant like not just money-wise, but like learning and taking the time to like edit it yourself and like listen to it. Now you're just like, let's just hire a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's the American way to do things. Like, that's what we do. That's what everybody does in America.
I was baiting you into saying that.
Well, I don't, dude. We don't have the time realistically. How long would it take us to edit a video and run a roofing company? I'd like to do that, but I don't get gratification and stuff like that. That's a you guys thing. It's like hey, I mow my lawn, so I'm a real man. Yeah, I don't have time to do that, so I pay landscapers. But guess what? Our yards look the same. Like, that's my mindset. I understand yours. I get it. There's something about the self-worth of doing it yourself. I get it. And I'm proud of you guys.
A kid cuts my grass.
Yeah. Now.
A neighborhood kid.
Now. You used to be a cool guy. You used to have New Balance on. You used to tuck in your polo and
I miss those days.
Jean shorts.
Take my shirt off. All the moms running with their kids, stopping and waving.
Yeah.
Lauren opening the door.
Look
Honey.
at kids. You could do anything with popsicle sticks. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, because I'm brown and skinny?
I never said brown. That's something that you're putting in your own head.
Your daughter calls me Uncle Brown. So that's nothing.
Because of the hoodies you wear. Look at yourself.
No, dude. I don't blame it on that.
Oh, my God. Anyway, on that note, we're going to close it down. I'm really excited about
what's up, Chuck?
The moves that we're making with the content. I'm excited about the direction we're going in. And guy just shows up and does what he wants. So I'm pumped. He
literally just showed up to work one day and never left.
Yeah, dude. All right, so real quick, I have to say it. So this is a true story. I'm gonna close it on this.
Let me start it off because make sure I don't want to.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing interview processes, and we had open interviews, and we actually had a decent amount of turnout, and just one. Well, it's not even hidden. So Chuck, we didn't technically call him back. We weren't saying we weren't going to. He just showed up, though, the next week.
I wrote this down. In a notebook when I was doing the interview process. So there was 10 interviews, but I got 5 out of it. And I wrote down next to 4 of them to call them in for the second interview. And I was like, you know what? I'll let Chuck get in here for second interview, too. So in the second interview at some point in time, I must have said that we have our sales meetings on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock in the morning. At the time, it was Tuesday at 10. And I walk in on Wednesday, the following week, and everybody that was hired was coming in to do their tax papers, and Suzanne at the front desk was giving everybody the tax papers to fill out. So I come in there, and I'm expecting 4. I told her 4 because I put a star next to Chuck's name, and I was like, you know what? I was on the fence a little bit. I'm like, I like the guy. I even wrote in there, like the guy, don't know yet, gonna wait. And I come into the office, and Chuck is in there doing paperwork. And there's 5 of them in there, and Suzanne's like, oh, you miscounted. You said 4, and there's 5. And I'm like, no, there's 4. And I go down the name. She goes, well, what about Charles Turner? I said, Charles Turner? And I go around the corner, and Chuck is sitting in there. And I'm like,
came in and never left.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I must have said the sales meeting in there. I'm like, she's like, well, he's filling his paperwork out now. I said,
all right.
Well, let's see. And yeah, dude, Chuck has dude, it was so funny too, because the accountant and everybody they messaged me like, who's this guy? You guys, you gotta, when the offer letters go out, they gotta blah blah blah. You know how that goes. And yeah, Chuck has turned out to actually be a really good salesman. He's got great customer follow-up.
He's a true salesman. We didn't hire Chuck. Chuck hired himself.
Yeah, and that's the initiative that you got to take at Romans. If you want to be somebody worth anything, you just got to take the job. And you don't got to wait for me to hire you.
And that's what Chuck did.
Yeah, you just come in there and you say, nah, man, I got this.
And now we have our own saying here. You got chucked.
Yeah, you did. You did chuck around and find out. That's exactly right. Chuck is the man. But on that note, guys.
Get chucked.
Yeah, have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.